Hello kids, Patrick Livingstone of EasyAnimalsToDraw.com, and today we're going to be drawing this animal. The wolf. We start our drawing for the wolf by marking in the top, bottom and left and right parts of our circle and then joining up those dots, first of all with quite lightly, tracing it quite lightly, and then going back and drawing it in a little bit more solidly. This is the circle for the hips of our wolf, and as you can see the hips are quite a bit smaller than the circle for the chest and shoulders of our wolf. Don't worry too much if your circle's not perfect. It's much more important to get the position of the circles correct and the size correct in proportion to each other. That way the shoulders and the hips will be the right size in relationship to each other. You can probably see that these circles aren't perfect, but that won't have any effect on the finished drawing. And now the last circle, the circle for the head. And as you can see, it's smaller than the circle for the hips, but not by much. And it touches the circle for the shoulders and the chest. The wolf is the ancestor of all our modern dog species. Now we draw a triangle for the ear and an extension to the head circle as a guide for the muzzle and nose. Now we join up the circles to create the neck, the back, and the wolf's belly. Now, two lines for the rear legs of the wolf. The tail, a line for the tail, and a line for the front leg of the wolf. And that's it, that's your drawing guide done. Now to start the actual drawing, starting with the eye. A little bit of detailing around the area of the eye. This video has been speeded up to twice the normal speed, so as you're following along and drawing your own wolf, don't hesitate to pause your video at any time in order to catch up. Now drawing in the shape of the muzzle and the nose. Quite a thick coat, the wolf. It doesn't get to sleep in a kennel. They have to survive in quite cold conditions often. In the north of America and north of Europe and Asia. Large forward-facing ears. I'm using short broken strokes to indicate the fur of the coat. The average male wolf weighs 95 to 99 pounds. For viewers in Europe, that's 43 to 45 kilos. Now the back legs, the hind legs. Compared to the average dog, the legs are quite long. So wolf's life consists of tracking its prey over sometimes long distances. Now we're doing the second hind leg. And now the front legs. You see they go quite high up into the body, into the shoulders of the wolf. Quite shaggy hair around the belly. A few more details on the foreleg. And now time to remove the scaffolding, the structure that allowed us to accurately draw the wolf. My favorite bit, removing the structure. And as usual, it's normal that you'll end up rubbing off some of your original drawing, but it should leave a trace that you can use. Normally you won't rub it out, the line out entirely, the line that you've originally drawn. And it's fairly simple matter. It's a fairly simple matter to go back in and redraw that line. The world's wolf population is estimated to be about 300,000. And the grey wolf is one of the world's best known and most researched animals. There's a long history of association with humans, having been hunted in most pastoral communities because of its attack on livestock, mainly sheep. I'd made that leg a little too long. That's better. So now it's time for the shading. You see, there's quite a difference between the unshaded and the shaded wolf. Quite a bit of its character that marks it out as being a wolf and not a dog will come from the peculiarities of its coat. You see in particular the dark tip to the tail on the finished drawing on the top left. As a defense against wolves, humans bred very large hounds to seek out and kill the wolves before they could attack the livestock. They bred these animals, these hounds, of course, from wolves themselves. And so you have, for example, a good example is the Irish wolfhound, the world's tallest dog, with its shaggy coat. Huge dogs. Kind of super wolf. If you think that all dogs are wolves really under the skin, at least originally. Now, I'm being very careful to. A lot of the character in the face is in the fur, so there's quite a lot of quite distinctive markings in the fur, which will distinguish our wolf from other dogs. Has some shading on the muzzle, but the face and the muzzle of the wolf is relatively pale compared to some other parts of its coat. We have archaeological and paleontological evidence of the wolf going back 300,000 years. He's been around a while. When you're shading like this, and you want it to be a pale grey, you need to hold the pencil quite lightly in your fingers, quite softly. You see, I'm drawing at an angle. And the marks I'm making are in the direction of the coat of the wolf, of the fur. As you can see, it's got a rather distinctive marking, a darker grey at the top of the back. Likewise, the top of the hindquarters. The final dark area being the tip of the tail. You probably all know the story of the boy who cried wolf. He thought it was fun to shout wolf and to get the villagers all excited, and then they'd come out and find that there was no wolf there at all. And then one day there was a wolf, and he shouted wolf, and the villagers ignored him, with predictable consequences. The moral of the story being, don't pretend there's an emergency if there really isn't one. You see, all the marks are made in the direction of the coat, which creates the illusion of fur. Now a little modelling around the paws and the claws. And if you wanted a slightly smoother effect, you can always go over your drawing with the tip of your finger to smooth the drawing a little bit. And once you've got a certain amount of graphite on your fingertip, you can create a very nice soft shadow under the wolf on the ground to indicate that the wolf is standing on the ground and not floating. You can do that with the pencil. You can shade in a shadow with the pencil, but it makes a very nice soft shadow if you use the tip of your finger. Be sure to wash your hands afterwards, or you might be leaving shadows on things in the house that your parents might not be too happy about. Some more detail on the coat, up around the neck, the shoulders. And on the hindquarters. And now for the tail with that dark tip. Very attractive tail. Remember, if you'd like to download a PDF with the drawing guide, you can do so at easyanimals2draw.com/wolf, and just Google it. Google easyanimals2draw.com. And if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and smash that bell to get notifications of further videos. Give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, I wish you happy drawing.